In the news, director Gore Verbinski is no longer directing the Gambit film starring Channing Tatum. So when the news broke that Gore Verbinski was coming in to direct this piece, I actually remember being pretty happy about it because I like the visual style that he uses to tell his stories. It's a little bit darker, it's got like a haunting feel to it. He just does a good job. He did a good job, with pirates movies, and I just kind of overall, the visual style that he uses, I enjoy when it comes to like his storytelling on the big screen. So when he was announced, I was like, okay, now we got a director that might be a little bit better fit with this type of story, with this gigantic absurd budget that they have for this film, which makes no sense. You got Channing Tatum, who seems to be very passionate about this project for whatever reason. And I feel like at this point now, with Gore Verbinski stepping out, we really have to sit back and wonder, like, what is going to happen with this film? Because now this is the third director. We had a Rupert Wyatt, we had Doug Liman, now Gore Verbinski, all stepped in and all stepped out. And the one consistent throughout this whole thing has been Channing Tatum. It feels like this is his baby, similar to what Ryan Reynolds did with Deadpool. It kind of has that same feel with Channing Tatum and like trying to get this project off the ground. And I have to believe that he's passionate about this project because I can't deep down inside really process or rationalize why he would continue to press forward with this film when you're losing director after director. The script still isn't there. You have this gigantic, absurd budget for a film that really should have a much smaller budget, unless there's some gigantic stars he has in mind that he has to pay big money to get them to star in this film. It should just be a movie about like a heist and a band of thieves and robbers or whatever. Like, that shouldn't really have a gigantic budget. Obviously, there's going to be some money that has to be expensed for special effects and stuff like that, because we know with Gambit, he has that kinetic energy power to where if he holds something, he can literally turn it into like a kinetic bomb and throw it. So there is going to be that level of special effects that needs to take place. Plus whatever other mutants are in this film will have their special abilities that you have to look at. But I still don't understand why we have gone through 3 directors, why we have the budget we have, and why Channing Tatum is still pressing forward with this project instead of stepping back and going, all right, let's just scrap it and start over. So sound off below with your thoughts about the Gambit movie, and the big question, do you even care about the character of Gambit? Is he an X-Men character that you're like super pumped to see a film about? Because I know for me, I'm like, okay, this could be cool, but I'm not like, there's not this voice in my head that's like screaming with excitement about a Gambit movie. But there is this little curiosity voice that goes, this could be cool if they can get it off the ground. I just don't understand why they have the budget they do. What kind of problems are going on behind the scenes that we don't know about? Because they've gone through now 3 directors. So sound off below with your thoughts about Gambit. The Directors Guild of America has released their Best/Top Feature Film award nominations. Additionally, the Critics' Choice Awards have been presented. So the Critics' Choice Awards was the other night. It looks like some of the films that may not get big recognition come Oscar season, we're definitely getting some love and getting some attention paid to it at the Critics' Choice Awards and the Golden Globes. So I wanted to take a minute and just kind of look at all of the different awards that we've talked about on this show. So the awards we've talked about, the Writers Guild, the Producers Guild, now the Directors Guild, the Critics' Choice Awards, the Golden Globes, 5 categories that are all leading us to the big finale, which is the Academy Awards. So I went ahead and put together a spreadsheet that kind of takes a look at the films that were nominated for Best Picture, or they were nominated for their screenplay, and this is, or Best Produced Picture, and this is going to give us kind of an idea, possibly, of what we can anticipate come Oscar season. So as you can see here on the Academy Consideration spreadsheet, all of these movies are alphabetical order, starting with Call Me By Your Name and ending with Wonder Woman. And we have the Writers Guild, the Producers Guild, the Directors Guild, and then the Golden Globes, the Critics' Choice Awards, and the total nominations that each film received in all 5 of those categories. And then we can see down at the bottom here, on February 11th, the Writers Guild will announce who the winners are. On January 20th, the Producers Guild will announce their winner. On February 3rd, the Directors Guild will announce their winner. The Golden Globe won for Lady Bird and 3 Billboards. Critics' Choice Award chose The Shape of Water. And then the Academy Awards is going to be on March 4th of this year, and that's going to be the 90th Academy Awards ceremony. So overall, if you take a look at this chart, we can see that Get Out, Lady Bird, and The Shape of Water are the big contenders here. Now, obviously, Lady Bird and The Shape of Water both winning in the Critics' Choice Awards and the Golden Globes, whereas Get Out did not. But each one of these 3 films received 5 total nominations for Best Picture for either writing, producing, directing, or the film itself as a whole. So I think this is a pretty good indicator that says, come Oscar season, we may be seeing Get Out, Lady Bird, and Shape of Water in contention for Best Film of the Year. Now, if we look at the Directors Guild, we can see that Dunkirk, Get Out, Lady Bird, The Shape of Water, and 3 Billboards. Now, judging from these 5 out of all of the films that are listed on the sidebar there, it looks like those 5 films, the directors all collectively feel were the best told stories of the year. And out of these 5, I'm not super surprised that any one of these 5 were selected. Dunkirk was definitely in my top 10 of the year. I still need to see Get Out. I did get that Blu-ray, so I'll be watching that so I can do a review for this channel. I still want to see Lady Bird. The Shape of Water was my favorite film of last year. And again, 3 Billboards is an excellent film, but it's one of those movies where you kind of watch it once because it's so dark and depressing that afterwards you're like, okay, we saw it and now we're kind of over it. So I have a feeling that Dunkirk may actually swing in and steal maybe 1 or 2 awards at the Academy Awards that maybe it didn't get the love and attention in all of these other categories. And I feel like once everybody is voting, maybe Christopher Nolan is going to get picked back up and we're going to see more people recognizing Dunkirk for what I think was an excellent made film. So go ahead and sound off below with your thoughts on all of these films that were nominated. And also let me know what you think about the 3 big films that got nominated in each category, which were Get Out, Lady Bird, and The Shape of Water. Did you see those films? What did you think of those films? Do you still want to see them? Are you excited? Let us know in the comments below, and we're going to move on to the next story. Todd McFarlane has compared the new Spawn movie to Jaws, and also indicated that Spawn will be silent in his new film. So for more on this story, go ahead and check the description box below. I threw the link for this article down there if you want to read more about his thoughts. Now, the big question is, when it comes to a Spawn film, is that the Spawn movie that all of us as fans want to see? And yes, I am a Spawn fan. I have the first 4 volumes right here. So when you look at these comics and kind of the stories that are told, Spawn can be a very brutal and violent anti-hero slash hero in not just the spiritual, mystical realm, but also like in real life and the people he goes after and the people that are confronting him, as well as like the demons and everything that he has to fight off and stuff like that. So the big question is, if he's going to be silent, if this film is going to have like the cops chasing him and it's going to be rated R, does that mean this film is going to be something more akin to like the movie Seven? Is this film going to kind of be similar to that story where we see these cops going around investigating the brutal murder or whatever that occurs when Spawn has to go in and stop a bad guy from doing something terrible? Because that was kind of the impression that I got when I was reading this article. And again, for more on it, click the description box below and the article link will be right there for you. But as I was reading it, I just kind of felt like this is going to be more like Seven. And even though he references Jaws, I don't think it's going to be like Jaws in the sense of like, you know, we see this monster come in and then like attack a ship or anything like that. I think it's going to be more along the lines of the dramatic tension that was created in that film by never really knowing like where Jaws was, but we could see what Jaws was looking at, right? Which made it really tense because we knew he was around, but we didn't really know where he was. So I feel like that's kind of what Todd McFarlane is saying when he talks about like it's going to be like Jaws and Spawn won't talk, he'll be silent. Because I feel like it's gonna be a mixture of that mixed with Seven. So you'll have these heinous crimes that are committed while Spawn is protecting somebody or going after a terrible person. And then the detectives will come in, the detectives will come in and they'll kind of look at the crime scene and they'll have to like figure out who this mystery killer is that's taking out all these bad guys. Or maybe you'll just see Spawn like disappear off, like, or be hiding in the shadows or something like that, or perched up on a building watching down as the detectives are there. And if that's the kind of vibe that they're going for, that could be really cool. But if it's something else, I can't really figure out what that something else would be based on just the description that we have so far from this article. Sound off below if you're excited about its new Spawn movie, and let us know what you think about this idea that Spawn will be silent in the film and it's going to be a little bit more like Jaws. Honorable mentions this week: Tim Miller is developing a Kitty Pryde film. Vin Diesel is in talks to lead the new Bloodshot movie. Millie Bobby Brown is set to star in and produce a series of films as Enola Holmes, Sherlock Holmes' little sister. John Williams will be scoring Star Wars Episode 9. Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Cruise are being eyed for roles in the new Quentin Tarantino film about the Manson murders. And that concludes the news this week. Thank you guys so much for sticking around and enjoying the news with me as we kind of break down some of the hot stories that we're dropping this week in Hollywood. Hi everyone, this is Jeremy Brunansky and you've just finished watching the movie news segment. Now if you enjoyed that, you may want to check out the Certified Rad playlist, which covers something awesome and uplifting that we found, or you may want to go ahead and check out the Special Segments playlist, which covers just a range and variety of topics that I want to dig a little deeper in, but we don't necessarily have time for on the weekly show. We will see you guys next Monday for a brand new episode of Brunansky's Vlog right here on YouTube at 10 a.m. PST. Have a great week, everybody. Take care.